Hello, and welcome to Getinweregoinghealing, a place where we talk about mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being to help you learn to let go of the things that are holding you back from being your best, your greatest, your most authentic you. My name is Tova, and I will be your guide. Today, I just wanted to share a short message of just something that's been coming up for the collective. Some information that's been coming up. It's been coming up in tarot readings. It's been coming up in my own readings. It's been coming up in meditation. It's been coming up in many, many, many sources. And it is not just true for myself. It is true for many in the collective at this time. So whenever you find this, you may not be going through the same wave of this as some of us, but you might be going through your own version at this time in your life. So hopefully this information helps you. And what I wanted to share with you was what we can do if we've already been on our healing path and we've already been doing our work, but we are dealing with people around us who have not, or who appear to have not, who maybe are falling back into old patterns, falling back into old karmic belief systems, thoughts, ideas, patterns, behaviors, and what we can do about it, because it can feel so helpless. It can feel so powerless. It can feel like maybe we've done something wrong, that maybe we've made a misstep, maybe we've missed something on this path, maybe we have. I know for myself, in my situation, it would be the person closest to me being my partner in a romantic relationship. And now that I think about it, family as well as siblings, extended family, when people tell themselves stories about you, when they get caught up in their ego stories. We've done previous episodes on ego stories. I have an episode on that. I'll try to remember to link it in the description or in the comment section. We've talked about ego stories. And if you've been on this journey, you've been through your own. You've started to recognize when your ego is telling you stories, what is real, what is not real, what is accurate, what is not accurate, when it's caught up in ego mindset, okay? It can be very hard when the people that we care about in our lives are caught in ego mindset. It's even harder when the ego story that they're telling themselves has to do with negative stories about us. Belief systems about us, who we are, our motivation, our stories, that sort of thing. And when they're trying to come up with an idea of why would a reasonable, rational person behave this way, and the only thing they can come up with is a reasonable, rational person wouldn't, it can be really hard, right? Because we know that we're reasonable, rational people, mostly. We have reasons for why we behave the way that we do. We have reasons. And if only someone would ask us, we would be able to articulate those things. We would be able to explain ourselves. But those who tend to get caught up in ego stories don't want to hear our side. They don't want to hear our story. They want to tell themselves the story and then move forward on that like it's fact. Now, again, no judgment. I have been there. I've been there on my path. It happened for me a few years ago. It still sometimes happens for me, but the first awareness of it when I was learning a few years ago, realizing that I was telling myself stories that weren't true, getting caught up in what others told me. If I went to others for help and guidance and advice, they're speaking from their own trauma, their own wounding. They're speaking from their human self, not necessarily their higher self. So the advice that is often given is, you're better off alone. You should leave him. You should end the relationship. You should walk away. That's not healthy. That's not good. You should, I would do this in your case. I would do that in your case. I would do this in your situation. I would do that in your situation. The problem with that is all of those people are not you. How they would traverse your path doesn't matter, because it's not their path. It's your path. These are opportunities for learning. So when our partner, when our loved ones, when our friends tell themselves stories about us that are untrue, convince themselves that these are stories that are true, and then punish us based on the stories that they've told themselves in their head are true, treating us as if those things are real, and then we deserve whatever treatment they give us because they are assessing us as this version of us that they've got in their head. How do you handle that? Ooh, chills. The advice I was given, and I keep getting in the cards, is to surrender and open your heart. I know. It feels like that's not fair. It feels like when the person in my life who's making up stories about me makes them up, I should be able to defend myself. I should be able to speak up. I should be able to tell them that their feelings are wrong. I should be able to tell them who I really am. Yeah, you should. But that won't help anything. Because you're not talking to a reasonable, rational person in that moment. You're talking to their ego. Again, no judgment. It's a human thing. But you're not talking to the person who cares about your well-being. You're not talking to the person who cares about you. You're talking to the person who is defending themselves, the person who is trying to protect themselves from the version of you that they have convinced themselves that you are. That is their ego. And you cannot compete with their ego. The only one, the only one who can compete with their ego is that. The only one who can do that is when they realize that it is, in fact, a story they have been telling themselves and there is no basis in fact. When they are willing to look at the situation a little bit deeper and say, is this real? This story that I have concocted, is there evidence to back this up? If I believe that this person is this horrible human being, do I have evidence? Do I have anything to show me that this person is that? And to also ask, do I have evidence on the contrary? Not just, can I back up my own story, but what evidence exists on the other side that might show me that this might not be true? This might not be real. This might just be something that's happening inside my head and it's not real. I just heard Inception, like the spinning of the top, to know whether you're in the dream world or in the real world. Understanding that when they're going through this and they're telling these stories, we can take it personal and we can let it hurt us. We can let it throw us into a painful set, or we can acknowledge that this is where they are in their path. It's not, I just saw a butterfly go by. It's not personal. This is how the transformation happens. It's not personal. It feels personal because they're attacking you personally, but it isn't really about you. It's about the story they're telling themselves in their mind to protect themselves from the pain that they don't really want to feel. It's an internal lie, but a lie of protection. They're trying to protect themselves. So all we can do is hold space for them and not close our heart space. And I know that's hard to do, especially when it's somebody that you really care about, somebody who's really important to you. When they are calling you these names, when they are deflecting and projecting all of their inner pain onto you, it sucks. Okay, it sucks. And then it makes you question, am I this person? Did I do those things? I don't recall doing those things. Did I? Because you care about them and you want to admit if it was you. You want to take ownership and accountability if it was you. But when they're coming up with these wild stories that didn't actually happen because they happened inside their mind, and this isn't to say that they're making it all up and they're just trying to manipulate you, because from their perspective, that's not what it is. From their perspective, it's real. It's not a nefarious villain who's trying to manipulate you and gaslight you, and it's none of that. It's their perspective is that's what they experienced. That's what they saw here. So that's what they put out loud. So it's not you. If that helps, it's not you. So all you can do in that time, it's like watching, the reference I keep getting is, of all things, Hunger Games. When PETA gets taken by the Capitol and they give him tracker jacker venom and they make him believe that Katniss did all these things that she didn't. To him, he genuinely believes she did those things. Obviously, we as the viewer/reader know that she didn't do any of those things. Those were all lies. They were implanted by the Capitol. But to PETA, they are real. And as he goes through the story, he has to begin to learn to trust himself again and dismantle the lies, dismantle the stories, dismantle what's going on in his head. Now, Katniss could have been angry with him and said, I didn't do those things. I didn't, you're punishing me for something I didn't do. And she could get defensive. She could. And she would have every right to. He's accusing her of doing things she didn't do, and he's punishing her for things she didn't do, and he's trying to kill her over things she didn't do. But what Katniss chooses instead is understanding and compassion. What she chooses instead is to see that this isn't actually who he is. This is the programming that's been put into him. And she continues not to try to force him to see differently. She doesn't try to force it. She just accepts it and continues on with what she has to do, with the hope in her heart that someday he'll remember. Someday he'll realize. And she continues to hold space for him, and she continues to hold him in her heart. And that seems to be what those of us on the receiving end of this are being asked to do at this time in the collective. And it's your choice. I mean, it is always your choice. Free will is a thing. You do not have to follow this advice. You do not have to hold space if you aren't ready to. You do not have to do any of these things. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. This is your choice. This is your path. This is your decision. However, if you are at the point where what you would like to do is support them to find their way out of this, like Katniss supporting PETA, hoping that by being your true self, it will click, that there will be an understanding, that there will be an awareness that that's not really who you are and you are not that person and it's a story. You have to just hold space and you have to keep your heart open. And that's really hard to do because when people are attacking us, I just saw 1, 2, 3, 4 on the timer. When people are attacking us, we want to put up a wall. We want to put up our defenses. We want to push them away and say, no, this isn't it. No, you go over there. And we want to close up our heart. And we want to say, no, I won't give my love to you if you hurt me. But I'm asking you at this stage to open your heart instead. You don't have to do anything. It's not a physical doing. It's a emotional releasing. It's an opening. It's open your heart to the potential, just the potential that they could see what's really going on. That they might ask you, real or not real. The way PETA asked Katniss when he didn't know if something happened or didn't happen. Real or not real. And Katniss had to be the one to be honest. And if she did something hurtful, to say, yeah, that's real. I did do that. So I think this is where, chills. I think this is where we're at right now. If you are in this spot, just hold space. Hold space. That they will start to sort through, even if they don't come to you, that they might start to sort through and ask, real or not real? Did this happen, or was this in my head? Did I tell myself this, or did this actually truly happen? And surrender, let go. You can't control them anyway. You can't control what they do. You cannot control what they say. You cannot control whether they heal. You cannot control how they see you. You cannot control any of those things at all. So honestly, stressing about it is just a waste of your time and energy. You can't affect it. And trying to prove it changes nothing, because the only person who can change it for them is them. Even if you give all these things, if they're in the mindset that you're the villain, they're going to say that you're trying to manipulate them. They're going to say that you're trying to pile lies on top of lies to try to force them to change their view and gaslight them. They're going to use all those phrases, those health phrases against you, because that's how their ego is going to protect them from seeing, oh, baby, you done some wrong. Oh, baby, you done hurt some people, and you need to look at that and you need to deal with that. Ego says, no, I did that to protect myself. No, I did that to take care of myself. And it does. It loves you. Your ego does love you. It's doing it to protect you, but it doesn't always make the best choices. So if we can understand that the people that we care about, when they're in this phase, that they are just there in the moment. It's not personal. It's not about you. It's about them. It's about them seeing real or not real. And hold that space for them. Love them anyway. I just heard Can You Love Me Anyway? That song by Pink. And Ragbone, I think, is the other artist with it. Can you love me anyway? If you see my scars, if you see the pain in my heart, can you love me anyway? If I'm hurtful to you, if I flirt with all the boys, if I do all these things, if I lose my voice, if I criticize you, if I say these things, can you love me anyway? They're not doing it on purpose. Again, your call. I'm not telling you what to do. Trust your own inner guidance, trust your own intuition. If this feels like this person is beyond hope, if this person cannot see, or if you are in a situation where you are unsafe, where it is actually damaging you more than anything else, take care of yourself first. Okay, put your oxygen mask on first. Take care of you first. But if you are in a space where you are able to hold space for these people, to hold that hope while getting on with your life, to hold that space that they are just making mistakes and that they'll figure it out, if you are in a position to do that, I implore you at this time, do that for them. Just hold the line. That's all. Hold the line. They'll get there. They're on their way. They'll get there. Just don't take it personal, because it's not about you. It's them sorting through up here, real or not real. Okay? I needed to get that out. It's not just my life. I'm seeing this show up in many of the collective. It needed to be shared. I hope this found you. If you are one of those people in this spot, I hope this gives you some bit of hope. I hope this guides you. Keep doing your work. Okay, regardless of what they're doing, regardless of how they're traversing their path, you keep taking your steps forward. Keep doing the self-care, keep doing the self-worth stuff, keep looking at the shadows, keep releasing the stuff, keep taking accountability, keep looking for joy, keep being present, keep being in the moment, keep surrendering. All of those things are part of this path. Keep doing that. Don't worry so much about where they are. Hold space for them. They'll find their way. Keep your heart open and just keep moving forward. Okay? So until next time, keep letting go of all those things that are holding you back from being your best, your greatest, your most authentic you. Love and light.